Hello, Tom. Very happy to have you with us. I guess on the off chance that people don't know who you are, introduce yourself to the lovely listeners, viewers, etc.
Sure. I mean, I don't know how to now. I've got to make sure I don't steal your job title anymore. My name is Tom Inniss. I am the former managing editor of Voice magazine. I now work in digital marketing, but I have been with Voice since the beginning. And yeah, I think we're here now just to talk a little bit about that history. It's very strange being here now because I'm pretty sure the last time I did this, I was the one interviewing you and trying to find out what was
Yes.
going on with Voice. So it's a nice role reversal.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And as you said, you've been around since the very start. And so as we're celebrating 10 years, we're gonna rewind all the way back and I'm gonna ask you, how did voice first come about? What were those embryonic
The
discussions?
embryonic discussions, right? Well, I mean, we're celebrating Voice 10, but Voice actually goes back a little bit further than that. So in 2012, we started Arts Award Voice, which was a sort of resource platform for young people who were doing Arts Award, which is a qualification run by Trinity College London. And I was brought on to help with that, write some content for it, and then over time we sort of like saw an opportunity to like broaden it out a little bit and talk more about youth culture and what young people are interested in outside of the immediacy of Arts Award. And it got to a point where we were like, okay, we kind of need to separate this out so it's a little bit clearer for our audience what is Arts Award content and then what is that sort of broader cultural conversation um, content. And in uh, well, 10 years ago, we started Voice. And yeah, from there, it has just grown into this really nice, small, independent, like platform. Like we talk about it as a magazine, but I view it more as a platform for young people and young people's opinions because we platform them, we elevate them. And that, yeah, that has always been the MO of Voice is just to give young people that opportunity to really discover themselves and culture and the arts and be able to participate in a sort of safe environment.
Definitely. And I guess once you'd sort of hit on that concept of expanding it beyond Arts Award and becoming more of a platform, I guess what were some of the ways that Voice grew? How did it become that platform, having originally started as an Arts Award focus?
Hard work, graft, and a lot of stress. No, I'd say one of the big things that really elevated Voice to the sort of forefront of that um, platforming role was our work at Edinburgh. So even though that was a once a year program, the Edinburgh Fringe coverage that we ran was quite unique in the fact that we were still taking a team of people up to the Fringe for a week, sometimes 10 days or a week. And we would be hitting 160 to 200 shows in that time period. And at a point where so many publications were sending maybe one person up for a couple of days and they would just be reviewing the big name acts, you know, the ones who are going to be going on tour in the autumn, we were still committed to having a broad mix of coverage. So we would be looking at all of the different art forms and we would be looking at those who are already established and those who were up and coming, those who were in the free fringe still. And we gained a lot of recognition from that. And as a result of it, we then partnered with Brighton Fringe, largest arts festival in England, to as the youth media partner to help with their coverage and again find young and upcoming talent there. So it was just about being committed and clear-sighted around focusing on young people and up and coming talent that gave us that platform, that that growth.
Yeah, it's great because that Edinburgh coverage that has happened over the years, like, still sort of comes up on the site because there'll be acts who are on TV now who were very much not on TV when we were reviewing them, interviewing them
Oh,
eight, seven,
it's
6 years ago.
I mean, yeah, Lost Voice guy. I saw him. He was having His first set was in the back room of a pub, and that slot was split between three people. Um, and like our coverage was so early, I'd gone up and camped in Edinburgh. Because like there was just no money to do anything else. And then you see him on Britain's Got Talent winning it, and you're just like, oh my God, that's crazy. It's yeah. Um, Flo and Joan, Zach and Vigo. We've covered so many people over the years, and it's kind of crazy now to see how much their careers have flourished and be like, I saw them in a back room of a pub, or like, I never paid to see them. They were in the free fringe, and now they're filling out Apollo. It's crazy.
Mm,
But yeah, that's like it's one of the best things of the job. It was always one of the best things of the job was to be able to see these people and be part of their, I suppose, be part of their journey.
absolutely. And that kind of segues us nicely then to talk about some of your proudest moments and your highlights from the last 10 years.
10 years. I mean, the fact that voice is still thriving after 10 years is really incredible in itself. So we are run by a small charity called Upstart Projects. And for those of you who have not been following the news, it's quite a tough economy out there. So Upstart Projects, we are always looking for fundraisers and people to donate to us. So if you are watching this interview and you have a couple of coins in your pocket, then please do feel free to give them so that my proudest moment can continue to thrive and flourish. But I would say our Edinburgh coverage has always been a source of pride for me. I think the way we handled that with such professionalism when we weren't the Guardian, we weren't the Observer, we weren't uh, the skinny, we weren't these well-known, well-established publications who had been doing this for years. We were upstarts in our own right,
Mm.
just trying to do the best that we could, and we made a real success of it. I've always felt really proud about that. But then otherwise, like it sounds really trite, but just the number of young people who we have supported over the years on our internal programs, so the voice contributors and the voice reviewer programs, and to follow their progress and to see them like there's always two kinds of people. There are those who have self-selected and joined the programs because they're already really confident and know what they want to do, and you are like that stepping stone for them to get where they want to go. And it's amazing to see how far they go when they've had that first step. But then you have the people who weren't necessarily as confident. They weren't sure of themselves. You knew that they had opinions, but you just had to work with them to help to tweak them out and get them to believe in themselves enough to feel confident to share those opinions. And when you start to see those young people come out of their shell, those moments are those are the real success moments for me to see a young person actually believe in themselves enough to put themselves out there. And then once they get the taste of that, to see them run is incredible. It's, yeah, it is some of the most rewarding work I've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think of examples even in the 2 years I've been here. So, Alicia, who will be profiling as part of our Voice 10 celebrations. She came in as a voice reviewer, she became a voice contributor. Then last summer, she became a guest editor while I was on my paternity leave. And she's now pursuing her NCTJ qualifications and wants to become a journalist as her career. And like seeing that development happen is, yeah, like you say, it's such an amazing moment.
It really is. It really is. And that's why we call it the voice pathways because it is literally a career pathway for these young
Yeah.
people and in a time when it is so difficult for anybody to find a career. But especially for young people when there just isn't that investment in helping them play and experiment and discover the arts and culture. The role we play here is just so important, and yeah, it was in many ways it was humbling to be able to be a part of that role, but it was also incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. That thing about play is so important because, like, as time has gone on and as the kind of landscape for things like journalism has become harder and harder, there are fewer opportunities to like for young people to play and to try things.
Hmm.
Like, you know, when even when I was coming up, there were loads of little like blogs and websites that had enough of a following to make a bit of money, and so you could like try your hand at things. And you know, some of my first opportunities to go to film screenings or go to interview junkets were through these small websites, and they struggle now for all of the reasons we've discussed with the kind of financial landscape and stuff like that. So yeah, I think voice is so valuable for providing that sandbox and providing a you know a relatively low stakes environment to ply your trade and get better and kind of just try to decide whether this is something you want to pursue or not, and be creative just for the sake of being creative rather than trying to monetize it.
Yeah, no, it's really strange that like it's low stakes, but at the same time, it's you can make as much of it as you want. We
Yeah.
are a professional outfit, so yes, you can play, you can experiment, but for those that do have that sort of taste for journalism, they have that space to really push it. We ran a program called the Kickstart program, which was Department of Work and Pensions funded, and some of the young people we worked with there, they didn't have a particular interest in journalism beforehand, but they applied, and some of them are now out there working as journalists, having had that opportunity to see what it was about and really enjoy it. And again, that's just really cool. But sorry, something you said there just sparked a thought. It's really strange, isn't it? How in a time where there's so much content and there's so many platforms available to you to make content, that writing has actually kind of fallen by the wayside a bit. You know,
Mm.
when I was growing up, as you said, there was lots of blogs and little outfits, but now, or you could like become famous through Twitter.
Mm.
Um, but now if you're famous on Twitter, it's not for the right reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And threads
Now
and
you
blue
need to you need to embrace the front facing camera now.
right? It's all about the front-facing camera, and that,
Yeah.
like, on one hand is good, but it there is now that gap for people who want to just write. Um,
Yes.
so again, I think it's a really useful little niche that we exist.
Yeah, that's it. I was having a conversation with a young person literally just the other day saying social media for me used to be writing. Like
Mm,
that's what it was. And now like you say Twitter's not really a thing and there are it's Instagram or TikTok, both of which are very visual platforms.
absolutely.
And so yeah, the game has changed and there are even fewer environments to for the written word.
Yeah, unless you want to start a Substack, but like, how
But
do you promote that
but
now?
exactly, yeah, how do you promote that? Because you know Instagram and TikTok are not easy to click through from to
No.
so it's not like you could tweet out a link to something or Facebook before Facebook made links evil. Like you could promote things in that way or you could promote them through forums and blogs and special interest pages, but now yeah,
Young people
now
won't
it's
even know
all
what a forum is, Tom.
yeah, exactly, that's it. What's a forum? Like a whole website to talk about one specific thing? What?
Man.
Yeah, that's it. We've everything centralized on like three platforms owned by like two companies. And
Yep.
it's
This
yeah,
is the
it's
internet now.
this is yeah, this is the internet. I'm disappointed that you missed the opportunity to say your proudest moment was 2 years ago when you hired a very wonderful editor. Um,
Goes without saying, Tom. Goes without saying. I didn't want to make it
I'd like to
awkward.
think. But kind of as we wrap up, then I want to kind of ask like what voice has given you over the last 10 years, and kind of how it has helped you in the career that you're kind of now in.
The honest truth is that voice has given me pretty much everything I have. I started working at Voice when I was 18 and I was going to university to study politics. And I very quickly realized that I didn't actually enjoy politics. Um, and having Voice, Arts called Voice at the time, as that outlet for writing and creativity encouraged me to pursue journalism. And from that, I then did a master's in journalism. I've worked at Voice for all of my professional career. From it, I met my partner. It helped pay for my house. All of my professional development came through Voice and the opportunities it afforded me. Um, I've made some incredible friends through it. It taught me quite a lot about myself. I was a precocious, but also quite arrogant and quite, I guess, quite closed-minded teenager. And Voice introduced me to other perspectives and other um, life paths, and it just made me more aware of what life is like for other people, and that in turn made me both very grateful but also very determined to try and ensure that there is as much equality to opportunity as possible. Yeah, I mean, Voice, to be honest, Voice completely shaped who I am as a person. And it took a long time, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
to shape me because I was pretty hard-headed. But yeah, it completely made me. And now I work in marketing, which I never thought I would, both as somebody who enjoyed arts and culture and somebody who trained as a journalist to now be in marketing is a bit like, oh. But again, Voice gave me that confidence to be like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and find what's next, which is ultimately what we are about. As a magazine, as a platform, as a charity with Upstart Projects, we are there to help young people find what is next. And I just took a lot longer to do it. But yeah, I mean, I'm so incredibly grateful to Voice for everything.
Well, that's a lovely note on which to end. I don't think I could provide a better last word than that. So thank you so much for your time, Tom,
I
and
could.
happy 10th birthday to Voice.
Happy 10th birthday to Voice. Please sign up as a friend.
Yes, please do. Yes, give us money.
Give us money.